Hey everybody, thank you for watching Aim for Survival. Today we're going to go ahead and talk about building your own first aid kits. Stay tuned. Okay everybody, we just talked about trauma kits versus boo-boo bags. Okay, but first aid really has a large area that it encompasses. First off, any first aid kit needs to involve a trauma portion. Okay, you definitely need that tourniquet. You definitely want a bandage that will absorb a lot of blood, and you want to be able to use this one-handed, okay? Now, those are just some of the first things to think about. However, there are other smaller things you can do, and it truly fits into the boo-boo portion of things, guys. After you stop the bleeding, say it's going to be an extended situation, maybe you know you're going to be on a hike where you're days away from rescue, but it's not necessarily severe enough to call in a helicopter. With that said, guys, I went to Dollar Tree and I went ahead and spent just a little bit of money to show you a way that you could do a DIY first aid kit. So check this out. So I have some of this organized into the ways you're going to use it. Let's first talk about protection and being sanitary. I do have some nitrine exam gloves, guys. These are blue, not black, so you will be able to see blood on them. I do have some alcohol hand sanitizer, guys. Make sure you get something with a decent amount of alcohol content to it. I do have some antibacterial travel wipes. Now next I want to talk about bandaging. We do have gauze, waterproof tape, an elastic bandage. Guys, it does have the little metal brads on there so that it will attach to itself. I do have a small first aid kit. It says 21 items. I'm not going to carry the whole thing, but a couple band-aids, especially on your fingertips, haha, come in handy. Next, we do have some triple antibiotic ointment, some Advil, some eye drops, something I don't see talked about enough in first aid kits. A small sewing kit. It would suck to have to use it, but guys, we're going to take some components out of this for improvised suturing just in case we need it. Do have a 10-pack of Maxi pads. These are designed to absorb blood. That's their purpose, guys. I'm not squeamish at all talking about feminine hygiene, not one bit, guys. It is part of life. And next, the second challenge of this is to get it all to fit in this little bitty hide pack, guys. Everything here costs $1 a piece, so when you break it down, one pack of that's going to be 33 cents. A bottle of this 50 cents. There's 10 gloves in this, so you break that down to about 20 cents a pair. We're going to divide it up and hopefully get this about $10-12. Stay tuned. Alright, the first thing we can do is get rid of some of the packaging. And again, as you notice, I am in the woods and none of this is going to be sterile when I'm done with it. But I'm not necessarily worried about that for this kit. I do have, again, the elastic bandage, rolls of gauze. These are plastic sealed. That will come in handy. But again, not necessarily worried about infection at the first part. I do have the eye drops. Very important. If you're chopping wood or walking through, get thorn in the eyes, there's a lot of reasons why you need eye drops in the field, guys. You might get a spark in the eye, but you also might have to irrigate your eye. You might have to rinse something out of it, so definitely good to have. If I need to tell you what Advil's for, well guys, then you ain't been playing hard enough. We do have individual packets. Again, we're reducing a lot of size just by removing the packages. Each of these have a 10 count, so we're going to put one in this kit, save the rest for another kit. We don't have room, I will sacrifice the hand sanitizer, but we are going to try to get it in there. It does have its additional fire making qualities, which is amazing. Triple antibiotic ointment falls in the same category as far as this is being petroleum based. Very small packaging, and its medicinal properties definitely make it worth including into the kit. Gloves. These will be very useful. we'll go ahead and stretch them out, find our thumbs, pair them together, roll them up just a little bit, make it to where we can get to them real easy. We'll go ahead and have 2 pairs just in case we need to help someone else, or 2 different people. One never knows. Might have to use them at first, then again later that night to wrap the dressing, or the second day. Waterproof tape. I believe in the rainy day conditions, so boom. This first aid kit we're going to take a closer look at. And the same with the sewing kit. We don't need all of what's in here. This will work as an initial bandage, as it is a very thick, very absorbent pad with all kinds of stickiness around it so that you can attach it to a wound. In my case, on my wrist, it had been handy. Could have put it right here instead of sacrificing the H bandage. And this is probably a good 1/4 inch thick with plastic liner on top. These feminine pads are very, very useful. Again, don't get shy about talking about it. If it's something that can save lives, go ahead and discuss it, include it, and move on. Real fast, everyone, we're going to go ahead and take the small sewing kit. Again, cost $1. Inside of it we do have all kinds of thread, a pack of needles, and some safety pins. I think that's all we're going to use for this kit, trying to keep it small. Next we have this little first aid kit. Again, just $1. You get what you pay for. It says a 21-piece kit, includes 8 sheer bandages, 4 small sheer bandages, 2 really sheer small sheer bandages. Got 2 knuckle bandages, which we'll take, 2 gauze pads, and 2 alcohol prep pads. Now the prep pads may be overkill. We already have the antibacterial wipes, and we also have the hand sanitizer, but if it don't take up too much space, we'll include it. Again, those pocket survival kits, find the ones that have a bunch of pills in them. That'll help you more in the long run, getting things like anti-diarrhea pills, stuff like that. Do have the alcohol prep pads, the 2 sterile gauze pads. Something I want to talk about with gauze or cotton on any open injury, guys, when it dries, it will dry to it, okay? Ouch. You don't want to be pulling it off and tearing it back open. You might want to consider a non-stick pad. More on that another day. Okay, now having packed it in, see what we could have and couldn't take. We did get most of everything we wanted in here. I did go ahead and put the safety pins on the outside of the pack. When you first look in here, the first thing you see are your blue gloves, so we'll take them out. Next, I do have 1 roll of gauze, a 2nd roll of gauze, my stretch bandage to maintain pressure. I did get 2 Maxi pads in here. The fact they are compressible helped a lot. Do have the antibacterial wet wipes, which could also work in a bathroom situation. We do have 2 gauze pads. I thought about it and did add 3 band-aids. I'm thinking more for blisters or possibly small cuts to the hand. The knuckle band-aids, 2 of those. Alcohol prep pads, which can work in conjunction as a makeshift bandage. I do have scissors to help cut the gauze or potentially make multiple bandages out of the Maxi pads. 3 Advils, which will help reduce fever and infection. The eye drops, which I feel are very underestimated. I was able to get the hand sanitizer in there. However, if I truly wanted to, I could take that out, having these. I do have all of the needles, which can work for many things, including fish hooks, the waterproof tape. My roll of thread fits inside there very neatly. Worked out very well. Last but not least, the Neosporin. So with these, I can make many bandages, including the tape and the pressure wrap. I do have something to cut the gauze and pads into smaller pieces, using only one hand instead of trying to rely on always my knife. Definitely have smaller gauze pads, antibacterial wet wipes to clean up the area before, during, and after. And again, this right here is a small bathroom kit as well. The gloves, which can't stress enough when you're helping other people, you want to be careful. Okay, so there you have it, guys. About the size of my hand, a very small, lightweight, cheap insurance plan, about $12 altogether, a little less if you do the math. We have everything we need to improvise bandages, stitches, relieve a little pain. Definitely a miniature bathroom kit as well. Holding it, filling it, squeezing it with Maxi pads in there, and all the gauze and pressure wraps and those antibacterial pads. You can also double as a pillow. Depends how desperate you get. I know how it goes though. Anything will work in a pinch. Keep that head supported as well. I want you to really get involved and start practicing with some of this. Go ahead and possibly draw you a line on your arm and then wrap it up. Use your stuff one-handed. Push your skill set, guys. Use it both dominant and non-dominant hand. You never know when something bad's going to happen. May not always require a tourniquet, but always have a tourniquet with you, and a dressing like an H bandage or an Israeli bandage. Guys, there's a lot of different uses for different equipment, but you won't know until you get out and practice. However, I appreciate everybody watching. Smash the like button, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, check out the descriptions of the videos nowadays to support the channel. As always, when you aim for survival, don't miss.